last third didn't see any quality, but if I have to say, probably the team who has produced more quality was United in the first half. So the result is right.
Much more from these three gentlemen to come, and all the reaction, of course, from Stamford Bridge. But the short but eventful Premier League Saturday is complete. It all began with a shock result, of course, Nottingham Forest and Steve Cooper getting just their second Premier League win back in the big time. A third defeat already this season for Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool. They only lost 2 in all of last season. Everton's biggest win since February, much needed one for Frank Lampard after 3 consecutive defeats. 3-0 against Crystal Palace, 3 goals and 3 more points for Manchester City, back to winning ways. 2 more for Erling Haaland as well. 3-1 they beat Brighton at the Etihad, and 1-1 we've just watched the outcome at Stamford Bridge. It's a 5-game Sunday, remember, including the leaders Arsenal at Southampton and Spurs welcoming Newcastle, and then the Premier League weekend concludes in the Monday Night Football as Bournemouth go to West Ham United. So as I say, it's as you were between Chelsea and United at the top, but at the bottom, Nottingham Forest are off the route of the table. They've gone up to 9 points, level with Wolves, having played a game more. Leicester, who play tomorrow, have the opportunity to go back off it. Of course, they're at Wolves. What a big game that is. Bottom against third bottom in terms of that. Everton have suddenly shot up to 11th place. Manchester United had the opportunity to go above Chelsea if they'd won, but because of the draw and a point each, they stay in 5th place, and Chelsea in 4th. Manchester City at 26 points now, a point behind Arsenal. They can extend their lead at the top. It's back to 4 points if they win at Southampton tomorrow.
Very, very late, but is it a case of just never giving up?
Yeah, I think first half was really good from us. Obviously, after that, the change of the tactical change with Cucurella goes out and Kovacic came in. We had some problems in the middle, but we find our positions. We get our chances in the first half. We could be 2-0 up. Obviously, in the second half, they get the goal from the penalty, but the belief was there. We keep fighting. The spirit was amazing, and that's why we get the point. It's not what we want, but it's a good point.
Do you feel you should have gone in at half time, from what you just said, in the lead, because you not only had the chances, but you had superiority, especially in midfield?
No, I think the best chances we had, we could have scored. We miss. Doesn't matter. We go on. We keep fighting. We keep working. As I said, we concede the goal. If you're not 2-0 up or 1-0 up in half time, it's because you don't deserve or because you don't did enough to be winning the game. But for me, the most important thing is the reaction of the team after the 1-0, the belief that exists, the togetherness, the spirit is amazing. We show it once again, and we have to carry on.
What was your view of the penalty?
I have no view because I was in front, so it's difficult to talk about. Obviously, what I said to the referee is like, in the Premier League, this kind of contact exists every single game. So I didn't see the contact, but I think holding and this kind of stuff, if we start whistling this kind of penalties, is difficult. But as I said, I didn't see it, so I can't say if it was right or not. Scott said it was not holding him. So I don't know. I have to see it, but obviously makes no sense now talking about that because it will change nothing.
What would you say about the quality of the equaliser, Casemiro's header?
Oh, first of all, it's a great cross from Luke. Great, amazing cross. And after, obviously, great header. We know that he has that. He had scored many goals at Madrid with this header. He had a chance against Everton, probably better than this one, and he missed. Today, he get it right. It was a fantastic goal, and we are really happy for him. But obviously, because we get 1 point, it's always better than lose the game.
Lastly, the situation regarding Cristiano Ronaldo. What has been that like for you and the rest of the players?
No, we don't talk about that. We keep it quiet inside. We have to deal with that inside, and no one else has to know what we think, what we want, or what will gonna happen, because also us we don't know. So the most important thing for everyone, including Cristiano, is that the team wins, and I'm pretty sure of that.
Yeah, well, always Ronaldo, you see, even when he's not there, and United have got a point. The forward steps they've made under Erik ten Hag, is that another one? The character to come back away at Chelsea late on and get something from the game?
Yes, I suppose there is progress. From the other night especially, you wanted him to kick on again. I think there's still the question against him going to big teams and being dominant and winning games. Away from home, especially, obviously we know what happened at Manchester City. Today they were good for half a game, they were really good and probably deserved to win the game overall. You think of Chelsea being at home, did they do enough to win the game? I really don't think they did. Well, one thing, subs were a little bit strange today. I thought Fred coming on when he did for Sancho, it didn't really help the game, I don't think. Fernandes lost a bit of control of the game, he had to come out to the left-hand side and wasn't in the game as much. But yeah, I think there's progress going to a bigger not a bigger team, but a big team. Getting a point is progress. You still like to win them games, of course you would. And they're really looking back on the game. They should have won it, but they haven't. But there'll be bigger tests here. You think going to Anfield, going to Arsenal, going to these better teams is now a big test for him to then take that next level. I think they've sorted out problems at home. You know, from the first two games was disastrous, as we know. But they've sorted the problems out, and they look dominant at home again. I think that's that away form where they have to become that dominant team, which I think the manager wants them to be.
But when you two played together in that famous team, so many late goals, you kept going. And, to be one down in the 94th minute today,
no, but
taken something
good.
from the game.
It's good that you get back into the game and that you score towards the end of the game. When we, especially when I joined, of course, that season when we won the treble, and in the beginning of that season we didn't play our best football yet. We needed to come into a rhythm as well to eventually win these trophies. But then you also see that when you are starting to dominate, you're becoming a better team. That teams are like more dropping deeper, so they're trying to condense the spaces and everything. And you need to keep on working, keep on playing, being patient as well, which is very important to eventually create that little gap when the opposition is getting tired, so you eventually can score. You see in this particular game as well, yeah, first half they did well, had a couple of small chances, could have scored, maybe should have scored as well. Second half, yeah, it was more of an open game. I think, Chelsea tried their best, United tried their best, but they stuck in there. They kept working hard, trying to find their ways through it, creating opportunities, which is hard as well when you're playing against another good team as well. So there's always fine margins. It's always difficult to create in these games many open chances. And then, towards the end of the game, when they go behind, they score the equaliser. You need to be happy about that. But overall, it's in the process of becoming a better team is sometimes playing very good football like they did against Tottenham, and then having a difficult game the next week or a couple of days later, and then still having a sort of a result which gives you confidence, I think, as a player, but also as a team.
Will Scott McTominay, Gianfranco, be the most relieved man inside Stamford Bridge with the way Chelsea's penalty came about right now?
Probably, because I think when he saw the replay, he realised that he made a mistake. It was definitely a penalty. I disagree that what was, they were saying before that maybe it wasn't a penalty. It's very clear. He should have left Broja before, but there is no doubt that it's a penalty. To me, it looked like more of an Italian game, this one, because I would say that.
I mean, from a long time ago.
No, I respect that. I respect you.
Not when Gianfranco. Just for clarity.
When you were playing at Chelsea, not in Italy.
No, that's fine. Don't worry. I'm not touchy. No, it's what my colleague was saying. No, what I wanted to say is that the two teams, they were so much into the tactics. They were really, in the end, the tactics prevailed to the spectacle, to the quality of the game. They were trying to both each other, and obviously in those circumstances, in these type of games, quality is very poor. It's exactly what happened today, in my opinion.
19 penalties from 22 for Jorginho in the Premier League. You've worked with him first-hand. What about this technique? What about this consistent record from the spot, Gianfranco?
Well, first of all, it's very good when he does that. In order to take penalties like this, you have to be very cool, because you have to look at the goalkeeper until the end, and you can see that. And the other risk can be if the goalkeeper doesn't move. That it can be, in my opinion, the only problem to these type of penalties. But in this case, obviously, De Gea tried to guess where he was going and moved before, and Giorgio was very cool and waited until the end.
So goals between Chelsea and Manchester United in that first 45 minutes at Stamford Bridge. What have you made of it, Jaap?
Yeah, I think United started the game very well. I think they pressed forward, pressed high, won the ball quite early as well. Dominated more or less the beginning of the game, or the first half an hour, 35 minutes. Created a couple of small opportunities, not very big chances, but small opportunities, could have scored. Made it very difficult, I think, for Chelsea. Yeah,
just the finishing, again, that it's been in the end, right at the end of that first half, Anthony with the best opportunity. Should he have scored?
It's on his weaker foot, I suppose. I think that's on his left foot, as we've seen the 3 goals he scored previously, then you'd fancy him. You're not quite sure as he's going through with it being on his right foot, but look, it's a really good chance. I think there's a big space. Really good play from Martinez, first of all, and then Anthony using his pace against Silva. You'd fancy him just to bend it round with a little bit more guile, I suppose, but he doesn't get that bend on it to bring it back. Really good chance, and look, as Jaap said, I think United have been the better team and created the better chances.
Have you been a little bit disappointed in Chelsea, Gianfranco?
Well, I think it's because of Manchester United. They were very good, actually, simple as that. They prepared the game very well. They used the superiority midfield very well, and they created a lot of chances. Chelsea couldn't get the rhythm, and when Chelsea cannot play with control the ball, is in trouble. I've noticed a few times. It's a team that when it's out of position, they don't get the rhythm, then it becomes a little bit weaker.
Yeah, we saw Marcus Rashford have a host of chances in the week. He did have a fairly good one.
Yeah, he did, but he creates the opportunities for himself as well, and I think you need to be happy about that as well. You know, he gets the ball, you know, he's got a great dribble, he's got pace, you can see him looking as well for like maybe somebody to be free. You know, he tries to get past his defender and has the shot, and in the previous game against Tottenham he did that as well. You know, the goalkeeper makes a good save as well, you know, against Tottenham now it's a difficult angle as well, I think, to score as well for a striker, but you also need to give credit to the player, I think, as well, to create the opportunity for himself.
Yeah, and he was in on goal as well, denied by Kepa. He's got himself in those areas again, Paul, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, and he's just lacking that finishing touch, really. Look, I think he does the right thing. He just doesn't quite get it high enough to go over Kepa with that chance. That one is... he does have to hit that one as high as he can. I know he's had a lot of criticism saying he should be placing stuff in the corner, but that one he really has to hit hard. I think it's the next one where he's clean through. That's really should have a little bit of guile, just get it a bit higher, foot over the ball, and anything that goes over the keeper's a goal.
I'm interested from your coaching head on Graham Potter, 36 minutes in, making the tactical change. Hauled off Cucurella, Kovacic on, and we saw the immediate rewards of that, if you like.
We were just talking about that with Jaap before. Chelsea was struggling to get out with the ball, and also when they were pressing the ball, because the 3 midfielders of United they've been very good. They were controlling the game and they were creating a lot of problems. Probably the reason why he decided to do that is because he wanted to match them up in midfield. And as soon as he came on, the situation, everybody saw it. He improved very, very much for Chelsea. They're more in control of the game right now.
No, I totally agree with it, because Chelsea, of course, they wanted to press with 3 up front and 2 in the middle, and then, of course, you're 5 at the back. They find it very hard, of course, you know, to cover Casemiro as well, and then also pressing the front or the back 4 of United. And now we made that change and played and went to the system of 4. Was it 4-3? Is it?
Yeah, 4-3-1-2.
4-3-1-2, but more or less, and they find it easier now, because now when Shaw or when Dalot has got the ball out wide, one of their midfield players can step out and can give pressure on them quite easy, and well, you've seen it as well, the results of it. They win the ball quite quick back as well, and then from transition they make it difficult for United the last 10 minutes.